Welcome back to the Sandbox Tycoon series. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to make certain objects give the player money in the game, or cash, or whatever your currency is, so then they can feel some progression and actually be able to buy more objects after they've saved up whatever, X amount they have. Anyway, let's just get straight into the video, and yeah, I guess let me just clear up one thing. So a lot of people have been asking me in the comments, or at least it seems like a lot of people, have been asking me about like how to add multiple like objects or something. Well, if you just duplicate the button and then make more objects and then assign the duplicated button to your other model, then it should work fine. You should be able to just click on different buttons and the module should handle it. And yeah, that is basically that. So hopefully that works. If it doesn't, then you can always join the Discord server. Link will be in the description as always, or you can ask a question in the comments. But yeah, anyway, that should be that. Let's just get right into the video now. So first off, we're just going to duplicate this price value, and we're going to replace it with pay, the name at least. And instead of being 1,000, I'm actually just going to set this to 100 because we're going to get this maybe like once every 5 seconds or something like that. So maybe I'll do like 50 or something just to make it even less, because once you get a lot of these, it's going to be overwhelming. But anyway, so we're going to put in a script in the model, and if you don't want some of your objects to have this script, then, or this pay thing, you don't have to, but this is just going to be if the objects that you want to make money, you can do this. So anyway, let's just go create a couple of variables. So the first ones I'm going to do, actually I'm going to create a comment, and it's going to be variables, and actually above that we're going to do services, and we're going to get the players service with dot players, or not dot players but players, and that should be all the services we need. But now we can just go and get, we're going to need the pay value, we're going to need the owner, we're going to need leader stats, we're going to need what are we going to need? We're going to need a pay interval. We're going to need, that actually might be it for now. So first off, we're going to set the pay to the script.parent.pay. And then of course we're going to need to get the pay interval, so we can set this to whatever we want. So this is going to be in seconds, how many seconds they're going to need to wait to get paid, so, or to get their cash that this object makes. So I'm just going to do like 30 or something like that, or not 30 seconds, 5 seconds maybe. But anyway, and then we can get the owner, which is going to be equal to script.parent.parent.parent. So the reason why I'm doing so many script.parents, and I'm not done yet, I don't think, is because we need to access this value right here. So currently we're in this object. Let's just put this in the item holder to visualize this better. So we're currently in the script. Then we go to the parent, so that's this. Then we go to the parent of that, which is that. And then we go to the parent of that, which is that. Then of course we need to go to this parent. So that's going to be that, and then we can go to the owner. So then we can do find first child owner, and we can do that. And then from there we can actually get, we're going to need a variable. We're just going to say this is going to be the player, and we're going to say this is going to be players, and then find first child, and then we're going to say owner, and we're going to have to say dot value. And since this is the string value, if it's set to my username or whatever username, it should be able to find them if they're in the game. If they're not in the game, then shortly after, their objects will be deleted, nothing will really happen. And you could also add like a repeat until this player value is set, but if it's not, and actually we could probably just wait for child to handle that. But anyway, now we can also set this leader stats variable, so which is going to be equal to player dot leader stats. And okay, so now what we can do is we can pretty much just do this. So we're going to need to do this. So we're going to add pay value every, we're going to say x seconds value set by pay interval var. So we're going to do a while true do loop. We're going to wait pay interval. And then we're going to set the leader stats dot cache dot value to leader stats dot cache dot value plus, and then pay dot value. So basically this is what we're going to do. Yeah, so we're actually not done yet. So let me actually just pop our model back into models. I'm actually just going to rename the script now. So I'm going to call this pay handler. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done in this script for now, at least. So let's just go out, and we're going to actually head to the server replacement script. In the server replacement script, we are actually going to need to, whenever we place down the object, actually I forgot, this script has to be disabled. So make sure this checkbox is set to true. So this means that the code will not run until the script is enabled. So some of you probably can see where I'm going with this. What we can do is basically just say that if item dot primary part dot, we're actually going to say find first child, and then we get a pay handler. So if that returns true, then we are going to enable that script. So we can basically just copy this and say that dot disabled is going to be equal to false. So, and yeah, so what this is going to do is if we find a pay handler script when we're trying to place down the object, then what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this to false, and then the script will run. Notice it's this nice blue color like we all know it, and then if we disable it, it's kind of this grayed out version. And actually we can just copy this and paste it in here as well. If you remember, this is if we have collisions, and this is if we have collisions disabled, because I need to check on the server if there's collisions, but I have to know if you have collisions enabled and disabled. So yeah, make sure we have this in both areas, not the else, but in the, well, this else, but not in these else statements. Okay, so we are not still done yet. We actually have to go into the Tycoon data manager, because when we load in the Tycoon, when we deserialize our data, we actually need to also enable that script if it's possible. So we can actually just go here, and instead of item, we can just copy loaded model. Make sure you paste it if loaded model, then within that after we get the loaded model, and also make sure that it's after you set the parent. So right there. Okay. So this actually should work. Let's just test it out. Although if it doesn't work, yeah. But actually before we actually do that, I just reset my data. So if anything is corrupted or anything like that, we now have a clean version of data store. Anyway, let's just test this out. So as you can see, I have 18,750. And if we were to place down an object, then we lose 1,000, but we get 50 every time. And then if we were to place down like more objects, why is this happening? Okay, that was very strange. I'm probably gonna have to fix that in the placement module. If that's happening to you, comment down below and tell me if you have noticed anything else, but it looks like it's a glitch. I've never had that happen. So it looks like the cache system is working. I'll try and fix that placement glitch in the next video. Hopefully I'll have it fixed by then. But yeah. Until then, I guess I'll just go over the code one more time as I usually do. And yeah, then we'll be on to the next part. Okay, so in the pay handler, we basically just get the player service, obviously. We get our variables. We get our very long owner variable. Then we get the player itself. And we basically just loop through every pay interval second, so whatever that is set to, then we wait that amount, and then we update their cache depending on what our pay value is here. And we only enable that script when needed. For instance, in the Tycoon data manager right in here, or in the server placement right here. and here. So yeah, hopefully that did help. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you join the Discord server, and you can give suggestions for other tutorials, or you can comment down below and do stuff like that. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at that. In the next video, I should have the placement module fixed, as well as an update on if you need that target filter still in there in the delete script. But other than that, yeah. So, and those are on my part. That's not your issue. So those glitches are the placement module. That's its own thing. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and yeah.